Okay, good evening. So today we will see one of the interesting topic like exercise tracking app using natural language processing. And we have given very detailed steps, like there will be 5 steps, how to authenticate, how to get. Uh, we will be using natural language processing concept, but not fully, but it is like when we say something like I have run 3 kilometers, or I have eaten, for example, 3 eggs, or I have eaten an apple. This nutrition API, what it will do, it will automatically process whatever the language, whatever the input we have given, it will convert into the nutritional facts. And that nutrition facts we will be using to update in our uh, Google Sheets, like Google Sheets, nothing but uh, the Excel, you can say. So here we have a detail given the detailed steps. So just I am checking my workout. So if I go to this link, so it is this thing. Anyways, so it should be opened here. Okay, so this is like date, time, what is the exercise you are doing, duration, calories. So generally when we give some input, what our endpoint will be is like this workout sheet will be updated automatically depending on the current date and current time, and whatever the input we have given, it will be updated automatically. So there is sure. So now the next step is like nutrition API. So whenever we go to this so generally this is the API where it's will be used by many people, like for example for developing of any uh, health tracking apps. This is one of the backend API they will be using. So we you can see there are 20 million prices. So we won't be going with this any uh, pricing. We will be taking this free tier just for our understanding purpose. So when you click on get API, so it will actually go to I meant to say it will ask for username, password, that minimum data, and then it will automatically create, and it will actually uh, send a mail to authenticate. Once that is done, it will send us the this thing. Uh, we need to confirm the email, and then only our API key will be generated. So we can see that API key because I already did it. So it is saying my API key is already generated. So when I click on that, so it is saying so view API keys. So here these are the two API keys. So there it has generated one application ID and application key. So this is not, somehow it is not working. I want to regenerate. Now it is totally fine. So the same thing. So I have regenerated another key, and I okay. Now this API, how it works. So these are the headers, like whatever we have passed already. So so it requires two things: application ID and API key. And here it requires the endpoint, whatever the endpoint we have defined, this is the endpoint, and then the XApp ID and XApp API key, and it requires some data. So for seeing this demo, you can actually go to the next step. So once we set it, we can actually go to the documentation. And we can to dashboard. Hmm. So yeah, so I have given, for example, this is the I have run 3 ms and did 30 minutes. So otherwise, you can. This is the input we are giving, but it interpret this input and it will actually convert to different 40 minutes. So when we do that, how many calories are burnt? So here we will get running duration, calories burned, what are the duration, calories burned. So this is the API documentation. They are already again giving the link. Uh, so even we will be using this XSS API only. We won't be using food, but even the food 83x. So it is saying so three large eggs. So what is the food group? It weight. What are the calories we consume? So this everything we can get via API also. So how the API is defined? Uh, if we go back, uh, this one. So generally these are the parameters whatever we see here. So here the method is post. Whatever we using, uh, we update into the endpoint. We using our API app ID and app key, and whatever query we have given. This is the query. Then it will automatically authenticate and give us the results. So this is a example. So not only I meant to say only a query depending on gender and weight, and it will give us the actual results. So for more detailed, you should go to version 2 docs. So this is like 50 minutes yoga, you can see. So whatever we did, just again 50 minutes yoga, 16 calories. So now we have generated app ID and then API key, and we are asking the user what is our input, and then we are passing the parameters. So we are actually posting to the API and we are getting the response. The response is it will be in the form of JSON. So it's like user input, this one. So we are capturing that and we are actually printing the result. Let's see whether it is working somehow. Sorry, Python ran 3 miles. Yeah, actually it is working fine. So it's like it is giving me calories, uh, description, running, what are the benefits, none. Like so from where there are multiple JPEG images also. So we are getting the response correctly. So, yeah. So this is about natural language processing. So when we give again uh, user okay 30 minutes 30 minutes yoga. So when you do the 30 minutes yoga, it will saying it you got 138 calories will be burned. So there are different inputs. So so this is one of the very important API. So if you want to build any application, health application, this is the go-to API. So it by default it uses natural language. So user is it is user friendly. So user can type anything. Depending on the user context, it automatically converts uh, to the I meant to say to the nutritional facts. So in the exercise, this is that you can have the food also. So if you want to check whatever you have eaten today, that also we can check. So three, so let's see whether it will give three medium dosa, five not three calories. So so we will get all this information facts. So it says again uh, running 3 miles. So estimated 343 kilocalories. So exercise name is running. At duration. So now we are able to uh, authenticate natural language processing. I meant to say nutrition API, and we when we give the command, it is just like OpenAI ChatGPT thing, where we give the command and it will give us the answers. Similar kind of stuff. Actually, we have the OpenAI similar kind of stuff. We can use the OpenAI APIs also, so to develop anything related to this. So we can develop our own language model, you can say, natural language model. So using OpenAPI, and they have already given API reference, we can just log in and then we need to create our own API keys and then we can create something like this. So it's like whenever we give the prompt, it automatically create the chart for us and it will give the output. So we can use already their models, already trained models. So now coming back to our project. So as of now we achieved these two steps. Now the next step is like we need to connect to our Google Sheet. So the Sheety is one of the, I mean to say, as I said, the first thing we need to create our own sheet. So it is like running duration 22 or something. So it will automatically, we created this data, I mean to say, just for a reference purpose. So now we will be, I meant to say, we will be connecting our Google Sheet to the SHEETY API, and then we connect it to natural language API. So it whenever we give the prompt, it will automatically update our this sheet, uh, Google Sheet via SHEETY API. So so to connect that, what is the process we need to follow? We need to go to the sheety.co. So whenever we go to this process, it will actually ask for this connect to Google Sheet. Uh, Before that, we need to be very careful whenever we copy. In the first slide, we said we have given this URL. You just need to copy. So make a copy using your whatever the Gmail account you are using. You need to make a copy of this Google Sheet, and then here whenever you are trying to connect to Google Sheet, then you need to do the same thing with whatever you are made the copy of Google Sheet. You have to do the same thing. Then after that, after the connection, you have to create a new project from Google Sheet, and then you have to give the your URL. Like whenever you make a copy, you will get this kind of URL, and then you have to give that URL. So from Google Sheet, it will ask for the Google Sheet URL. So this will automatically connect to this this project. Like so, we have defined step by step also. Like under Google Sheet, you have to sheets, and we can give anything workout tracking or that's. So after that, we have to actually by default this won't be enabled the get and post request for the URL. So this is our uh, user identified. So here if you see this is unique to every user. So whenever we do the connection, it will create the endpoint. So we will be using this endpoint to do the update to our sheets. So now again how we will be doing this is again here. So as of now we have did this one. So now this solution is this one. So we have different sheet T endpoint here as I said, and then we are taking today and the time also. We are getting the time today. What is the date today in this format? So again, if you go to the documentation, API documentation, so sheet username, project name, sheet name. So it's like adding a row, like the put method, authentic delete method. So the same thing. Will be opening this. So we here what are we defined? So the first name it should be camel case. So that we already defined. So it's like for exercise in result. So workout in the workout sheet where we have date, time, exercise. So this is from where we are getting. We are getting it from the JSON, the request JSON. So this JSON. Just okay. So format. So if there are multiple things, as of now we are given only one thing, right? But if we given multiple comments, so let's say that 40 minutes. Yeah. So it is giving us the both. What happened? Okay, one second. Format, if you see in the exercises, so we are looping over JSON. Okay. Okay. Anyways, so in the result of exercises, so because we have multiple dictionaries, so inside the exercises we have to. So we need to get for the both. That's why we are Google Sheet inputs is like a workout. So the workout, what is the date and what is the time, and then exercise name dot title. So yeah, so it's like running name. Right. Sorry, it's again doing some. So I meant to say just we are getting from out of the this one like from the JSON we are getting all the data and we are defining. So if we okay, let's go back. So if we given multiple inputs, so three or more or two or more, so that's why we have taken it in a for loop. Otherwise, we can directly just define if there is only one input. But we want to update everything, right? So whatever we did, we need to update everything. So we need to get all that. So now we are actually posting it to the endpoint so that our sheets will be updated. So now let me run this. So, bit dimensional. Okay, now it is giving some error. Okay, the API key. Yeah, valid authorized header is required. Okay, it is saying our tokens are not valid, but I need to check why because we have already given. Okay, data business mom. Okay, I have changed it to token. That's why it is. We will come back to authentication. So so when I go back to my sheet, it is automatically updated. So running duration is like 30. So calories. So it has calculated duration on average. So we, because we haven't said how many hours or how many minutes we have run, we have just given 3 miles and the cycling is like 2 miles. So why? Because before it went into authorization headers, so it is like so as of now there is no authentication, right? Because we can directly given the endpoint and we just updated what the JSON inputs. My sheet is updated automatically, but this is not recommended. So we need to have authentication for this API also. So that's why if we go to this authentication, you can have two, like first is like no authentication and then basic authentication. So you can define your own username and password. So as of now I'm not defining the same thing. You can define your own token. So here in the next slide we have said the same thing. So here document what is the basic authentication, what is bearer authentication. So something like this type of format key we need to give. So it is like a security token. So generally if we are connecting to VDI we will be giving some token, right? Security tokens. So similar kind of stuff. So it is like authentication via bearer authentication. So similar kind of security token we can say. Uh, So better to maintain this. So how we will be doing the authenticate? As of now I'm not doing, so just I am showing only this thing. So the next thing is like this is the main ID. We need to keep everything under environment variables. So it's like we need to set environment variables so that so whenever you are sharing our code, so we won't be sharing our own API keys or API IDs. So that's why we will be keeping under environment variables. So then we will be accessing via os.env. We are already seen this. So everything is similar, but here there will be three types of authentications. So first, as of now, we already seen without authentication we have already given. So the second authentication is basic authentication. So where the same post method endpoint inputs, but here authentication is os.environment, sheety username and password. Whatever you set here, the basic authentication, once you set and you give the save changes, then you need to pass it. So you can directly pass, but it is not recommended. That's why you need to keep it in environment variables, and then we are getting that os.environment from environment variables username and password. So if username and password is not comfortable, then because they might prone to leakage, so better we use authorizations like tokens. So this is how we need to define headers. So bearer header authorization bearer. So again we are getting the token. You can directly give the token here, but better to get it by environment variables. So we can define our own token and then just save it. Yeah. So everything is working the same way. It will automatically update. If I again just did 30 minutes yoga. So if I go back my Excel Google Sheet, it is saying so the current, because we are updating the current timestamp. So yeah, we are getting exercise yoga. So cal this. So the same thing we can using as of now we are using exercise, but if you want to calculate how what is the food intake you have taken and what is the calories you have taken, that also we can actually using this simple we can just change it to the food API, and then just we can create our own sheet also. So to track our calories, how much we are eating and how much we are. So yeah, using this API, we can develop a website or mobile app also. So as I said, so as of now, I'm not creating any authentications, but you can try. You can try creating username and password and a token also. So just we need to comment this out. So nothing else. Then we are just printing the response. Okay, that's it for today.